Three, two, one. Okay. So hello everyone, I'm Alyan Fiverrwala and I'm back again today with Chatgpt. So hello Chatgpt, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about you? Sure, I'd love to. What kind of topics are you interested in discussing? Sounds great. How about we discuss hobbies or favorite travel destinations? Awesome. Let's start with hobbies. What's a hobby you really enjoy? That's fantastic. That's wonderful. What kind of places do you like to write about? Both sound amazing. What do you enjoy most about writing in northern areas? That sounds really peaceful. Writing in a beautiful setting can be so inspiring. What kind of stories do you like to write? That's wonderful. Writing about your own life can be very meaningful. Do you have a specific memory or experience you're currently focusing on? Absolutely. Traveling can open up so many new experiences. Do you have any places you'd love to visit in the future? That's a beautiful destination. What about Norway interests you the most? Norway is known for its stunning fjords, breathtaking northern lights, and beautiful landscapes. The culture and history are fascinating too. Does that sound like what you're looking for? Yes, Norway is known for its stunning natural beauty and fjords, as well as the northern lights and rich Viking history. That's wonderful. The natural beauty of Norway is truly captivating. If you do visit, what's the first place you'd like to explore there? You're very welcome. If you ever need more suggestions or tips, feel free to ask. Absolutely. France is rich in history and culture. Which aspect of French history interests you the most? Sure, France has a fascinating history. From the prehistoric cave paintings at Lascaux to the grandeur of the Palace of Versailles, there's so much to explore. The country has been home to influential movements like the French Revolution, which shaped modern democracy. Then there's the rich literary and artistic heritage, from Victor Hugo to Monet. Each era has left its mark. What intrigues you most about France? Sure, France has a fascinating history, from the medieval period with its castles and cathedrals to the French Revolution, which transformed the country. The Renaissance and the Age of Enlightenment are also key periods, marked by significant advancements in art, science, and philosophy. Is there a particular era you'd like to know more about? The French Revolution, which took place from 1789 to 1799, was a pivotal period in French history. It was marked by the overthrow of the monarchy, the rise of the Republic, and significant social and political change. Key events include the storming of the Bastille, the Reign of Terror, and the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. Would you like to dive deeper into any specific event or aspect? The French Revolution began in 1789 due to widespread discontent with the monarchy and economic hardship. It started with the storming of the Bastille, a symbol of royal tyranny. This was followed by the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, establishing principles of liberty and equality. The revolution led to the abolition of the monarchy and the execution of King Louis XVI. Eventually, it paved the way for the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. It's a complex and transformative period in history. Would you like to know more about a specific figure or event from this time? One key figure is Maximilien Robespierre, a prominent leader during the revolution. He was instrumental in the Reign of Terror, a period marked by mass executions of enemies of the revolution. Despite his initial advocacy for democracy and equality, Robespierre's role in the terror ultimately led to his downfall and execution. This period significantly changed France's political landscape. Is there anything specific about Robespierre or another figure you'd like to explore? Certainly, Robespierre was a key figure in the Jacobin Club, which was one of the most radical groups during the French Revolution. He strongly advocated for the rights of the common people and was known for his intense dedication to the principles of the revolution. However, his role in the Committee of Public Safety led him to endorse extreme measures, including mass executions of those considered enemies of the revolution. His leadership during the Reign of Terror eventually led to his downfall and execution in 1794. Do you want to know more about his impact or any specific events during his leadership? Robespierre's impact was significant. He was a driving force behind the radical phase of the revolution. His belief in the virtue of the Republic led him to support extreme actions, like the Reign of Terror, which aimed to eliminate opposition and protect the revolution. He pushed for laws like the law of suspects, which allowed the arrest of anyone suspected of opposing the revolution. His unwavering commitment to his ideals, however, also led to increasing paranoia and the execution of many, which eventually turned public opinion against him. This led to his arrest and execution in 1794, marking the end of the Reign of Terror. His legacy is complex, as he is remembered both for his dedication to revolutionary ideals and for the extreme measures he endorsed. Is there anything? You're welcome. If you ever want to learn more, feel free to ask. Is there anything else on your mind? Sure. The Reign of Terror was a period during the French Revolution from September 1793 to July 1794. Led by the Committee of Public Safety, including Robespierre, it aimed to purge France of enemies of the revolution. Revolutionary tribunals conducted swift trials, often resulting in executions. It's estimated that tens of thousands were executed, including King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. This period was characterized by paranoia and swift justice, aiming to protect the revolution, but eventually leading to Robespierre's downfall and the end of the terror. Is there a specific aspect you'd like to know more about? The Reign of Terror began as a response to internal and external threats to the French Revolution. The revolutionary government, fearing counter-revolutionaries and foreign invasion, granted broad powers to the Committee of Public Safety, led by Robespierre. The law of suspects allowed for the arrest of anyone deemed a threat, leading to mass trials and executions. The period was marked by a climate of fear and paranoia, with revolutionary tribunals often conducting quick trials and sentencing many to the guillotine. It was a time of intense political and social upheaval. Do you want to know more about the specific events or figures during this time? During the Reign of Terror, key events included the execution of King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette, which symbolized the fall of the monarchy. The revolutionary government implemented the law of suspects, leading to widespread arrests and summary executions. The Committee of Public Safety, dominated by Robespierre, wielded significant power, and the revolutionary tribunals were established to expedite trials. The terror ended with the fall of Robespierre in July 1794, when he and his allies were arrested and executed, leading to a more moderate phase of the revolution. Do you want to delve deeper into any of these events? The execution of King Louis XVI in January 1793 was a significant moment, signaling the end of the monarchy. He was convicted of treason and executed by guillotine. His wife, Queen Marie Antoinette, was executed later that year in October. The law of suspects, enacted in September 1793, allowed for the arrest of anyone suspected of opposing the revolution, resulting in widespread imprisonment and executions. The revolutionary tribunals were established to expedite trials, leading to thousands of executions, often based on little evidence. The fall of Robespierre in July 1794 marked the end of the terror, leading to a more moderate phase of the revolution. These events significantly shaped the course of French history. Anything else you'd like to dive into? The French Revolution itself was triggered by deep social inequalities, economic troubles, and the influence of Enlightenment ideas. The storming of the Bastille on July 14, 1789, symbolized the start of the revolution. The National Assembly then adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, asserting liberty, equality, and fraternity. As the revolution progressed, radical factions like the Jacobins gained power, leading to the Reign of Terror. The revolution ultimately ended with Napoleon Bonaparte's rise to power, marking the transition from the revolutionary period to the Napoleonic era. This period reshaped France and had a profound impact on the world. If you want to explore more details or specific events, feel free to ask. Certainly. The French Revolution began in 1789 and lasted until 1799. It was fueled by widespread discontent with the absolute monarchy, economic struggles, and the influence of Enlightenment ideas. Key events include the storming of the Bastille, the Declaration of the Rights of Man, and the abolition of the monarchy. The revolution led to the establishment of the First French Republic and the execution of King Louis XVI. The Reign of Terror, led by Robespierre, was a period of intense political purges and mass executions. The revolution concluded with the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, who established the consulate, effectively ending the revolutionary period. The revolution profoundly impacted France and the world, promoting ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity. If there's a particular aspect you'd like to explore further, just let me know. The French Revolution marked a turning point in history. Beginning in 1789, it was driven by economic hardship, social inequality, and the influence of Enlightenment ideas. The storming of the Bastille became a symbol of the revolution. The National Assembly introduced the Declaration of the Rights of Man, advocating for liberty, equality, and fraternity. The revolution saw the fall of the monarchy, leading to the establishment of the First French Republic. The Reign of Terror, led by Robespierre, involved mass executions to eliminate perceived enemies. The revolution ended with Napoleon Bonaparte's rise, transitioning France from a republic to the Napoleonic era. This period reshaped not only France, but also influenced global politics, spreading revolutionary ideals. If there's anything specific you'd like to explore, just let me know. Absolutely. The French Revolution was a decade-long period of radical change from 1789 to 1799. It began with economic and social unrest, leading to the storming of the Bastille. The National Assembly was formed, and the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen was adopted. The revolution saw the monarchy abolished and the First French Republic established. The Reign of Terror, led by Robespierre, was a period of intense political purges. The revolution ended with Napoleon Bonaparte's rise, bringing stability after years of turmoil. The revolution's legacy includes the spread of revolutionary ideals like liberty, equality, and fraternity. If you have any specific questions or want more details, feel free to ask. Certainly. The French Revolution began in 1789 due to financial crises, social inequality, and Enlightenment ideals. The storming of the Bastille on July 14, 1789, marked its symbolic start. the National Assembly adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, emphasizing liberty, equality, and fraternity. The revolution led to the fall of the monarchy, the execution of King Louis XVI, and the establishment of the First French Republic. During the Reign of Terror, 1793 to 1794, led by Robespierre, thousands were executed as counter-revolutionaries. The revolution ended with Napoleon Bonaparte's rise to power in 1799. Its legacy includes the promotion of democratic ideals and the reshaping of political landscapes in Europe and beyond. If you'd like more details on any specific aspect, feel free to ask. The French Revolution began in 1789, driven by economic distress, social inequality, and Enlightenment ideas. Key events include the storming of the Bastille, the adoption of the Declaration of the Rights of Man, and the abolition of the monarchy. The revolution saw the rise of radical Greeks like the Jacobins and the Reign of Terror, during which thousands were executed. It ended with Napoleon Bonaparte's coup in 1799, leading to his dictatorship. The revolution profoundly influenced modern political and social structures, spreading ideals of democracy and human rights. If there's a particular aspect you'd like to know more about, feel free to ask. India and Pakistan share a complex history, deeply influenced by their colonial past and the 1947 partition. This partition divided British India into two nations, India and Pakistan, leading to significant demographic shifts and communal violence. The Kashmir region has been a central point of contention, resulting in multiple wars and ongoing disputes. Over the decades, both countries have developed distinct political systems and economies, yet their shared history continues to impact their bilateral relations. India and Pakistan's detailed history includes colonial period. Both countries were part of British India under colonial rule from the 18th century until 1947. The Indian independence movement, led by figures like Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, sought freedom from British rule. 2. Partition of 1947. This led to the creation of two independent states, India and Pakistan. The partition triggered massive migrations and communal violence, resulting in significant loss of life. The Kashmir conflict, a major point of contention leading to multiple wars, 47, 48, 1965, 1999, and ongoing disputes. 4. Political development. India adopted a democratic system, while Pakistan has experienced periods of military rule. 5. Economic paths. Both countries have developed their own distinct economies, with India becoming one of the world's largest economies and Pakistan focusing on agriculture and textiles. Their shared history continues to influence their relationship today. Would you like more specific details on any aspect? Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan played a pivotal role in the early stages of the Kashmir conflict. In October 1947, he authorized Operation Gulmarg, which involved sending tribal forces into Kashmir to support local insurgents, leading to the First Indo-Pakistani War. He later participated in UN-mediated talks and advocated for a plebiscite to determine Kashmir's future. However, these efforts did not resolve the dispute, and the conflict remains unresolved to this day. Liaquat Ali Khan, Pakistan's first prime minister, was central to the early Kashmir conflict. In October 1947, he authorized Operation Gulmarg, deploying tribal forces into Kashmir to support local insurgents, which triggered the First Indo-Pakistani War. He later engaged in United Nations-mediated talks, advocating for a plebiscite to determine Kashmir's future. However, these efforts were unsuccessful in resolving the dispute, which remains a contentious issue between India and Pakistan to this day. Khan's leadership during this period was marked by his firm stance on Kashmir and his efforts to secure Pakistan's interests through international diplomacy. If you want more specific details on any part of his role, feel free to ask. Liaquat Ali Khan, Pakistan's first Prime Minister, was instrumental during the initial stages of the Kashmir conflict. When Kashmir's Maharaja hesitated to join either India or Pakistan after the 1947 partition, Khan's government supported a tribal invasion to annex the region. This led to the First Indo-Pakistani War. Khan also engaged in diplomatic efforts, advocating for a UN-mediated plebiscite to resolve the dispute. Despite these efforts, the conflict remains unresolved. Khan's tenure was marked by his commitment to securing Pakistan's interests in Kashmir through both military and diplomatic means. If you'd like more details on any specific events or actions, feel free to ask. Liaquat Ali Khan, Pakistan's first Prime Minister, played a crucial role in shaping the early years of the Kashmir conflict. When the Maharaja of Kashmir hesitated to join either India or Pakistan after partition, Khan's government supported a tribal invasion in October 1947 to annex the region, which triggered the First Indo-Pakistani War. He also engaged in diplomatic efforts, advocating for a UN-mediated plebiscite to decide Kashmir's future. Despite his efforts, the conflict remained unresolved. Khan's leadership during this period was marked by his firm stance on Kashmir and efforts to secure Pakistan's interests through both military action and international diplomacy. His tenure laid the groundwork for Pakistan's policies on Kashmir. If you'd like to delve into more specifics, feel free to ask. Liaquat Ali Khan, as Pakistan's first Prime Minister, played a significant role in the early Kashmir conflict. When the Maharaja Certainly. Liaquat Ali Khan was instrumental during the early stages of the Kashmir conflict. In October 1947, he supported the tribal invasion of Kashmir to annex the region, leading to the First Indo-Pakistani War. He also advocated for international mediation and a plebiscite to resolve the conflict, though these efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. His actions set the foundation for Pakistan's stance on Kashmir. If you need more details on any specific aspect, feel free to ask. Liaquat Ali Khan's role in the Kashmir conflict began shortly after Pakistan's independence in 1947. When the Maharaja of Kashmir delayed deciding between joining India or Pakistan to annex the region, leading to the First Indo-Pakistani War. He also sought international mediation, advocating for a UN-sponsored plebiscite to determine Kashmir's future. Despite these efforts, the conflict remains unresolved. Khan's leadership during this period laid the groundwork for Pakistan's ongoing stance on Kashmir. If you need more details on any specific aspect, feel free to ask. Liaquat Ali Khan, Pakistan's first Prime Minister, played a significant role in the deciding whether to join India or Pakistan. Khan supported to annex the region, leading to the First Indo-Pakistani War. He also pursued diplomatic efforts, advocating for a UN-sponsored plebiscite to determine the region's future. Despite these efforts, the conflict remains unresolved, and his actions set the foundation for Pakistan's ongoing stance on Kashmir. His leadership during this period was crucial in shaping Pakistan's policy on Kashmir. If you need more details on any specific aspect, free to ask. Liaquat Ali Khan, Pakistan's first Prime Minister, played a crucial role in the early stages of the Kashmir conflict. When the Maharaja of Kashmir delayed deciding between joining India or Pakistan, Khan supported a tribal invasion to annex the region, leading to the First Indo-Pakistani War. He also pursued diplomatic efforts, advocating for a UN-sponsored plebiscite to resolve the conflict. Despite his efforts, the Kashmir issue remains unresolved. His leadership was pivotal in shaping Pakistan's stance on Kashmir, and his actions laid the groundwork for the country's ongoing policies.
So everyone, this is our today conversation with ChatGPT.